Brett, we're back.
Always good to see you, Carolyn.
You too, my dear.
So you've had plenty of readings before. You kind of know what to expect. However, during any time during the reading, if you have a question, please feel free to speak up.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Since we're doing this over video, if you'd like to see a card, I'm more than happy to hold it up for you.
Okay.
Tell you what I see. All right.
Yep.
So I'm going to start shuffling the cards, and I want you to tell me when to stop.
Now is good.
All righty. Let's take a look. What's going on with Carolyn? I use the classic Celtic cross spread, which is what most tarot cards readers will use. Also, if we have any questions at the end, I'll do a 3-card spread that usually just past, present, future
Okay.
of things. So first card, of course, is your identifier card. What I'm seeing is that you're right on track, and I have a feeling it has a lot to do with Holistic Campus. You're a planner, is what they're saying. I'm looking at tree branches, I'm looking at flow charts kind of thing. This was not something that you just kind of threw together. This was something that was very well planned out. This was something that took a lot of thought. I can see you consulting with a couple of different people that you trust, to get this right. My goodness, you're a perfectionist. Doesn't that hurt?
Yeah,
Doesn't it hurt to have to write all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a ton of energy behind it. Whatever you've done to set this up, Carolyn, you did it exactly right. And this isn't coming from me. This is coming from Spirit, of course. So it's great to have confirmation on this. Were you developing yourself as a person with psychic ability before all of this happened?
For the past 7 years, yes, I've been developing all of that.
Okay, so have you not gone far enough with that? Do you feel like you've stopped?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so this is going to be a great opportunity for you to kind of dip your toe in the water, because I have a feeling that you were going kind of in one direction. It didn't work out as well as you wanted it to. You tried another direction. This is going to be a great time for you to kind of to test the waters, to do a little taste test, if you will, because you're going to see all these different modalities. You're going to be running into all these wonderful people. And something is going to feel right for you. Something is, you do your psychic work from the heart, not the head. So this is something that's going to kind of, there's that missing piece there that kind of you're waiting for, that little key for it to go. So
Now, Brett, that's funny because I really thought, I've been just evolving as
yeah.
but I don't know that I was looking for something psychic to do. I feel like I found what it is I'm supposed to do in this role with Holistic Campus.
Okay. Well, what the cards are telling me is that your psychic ability is coming along. This is a time for you to, like I said, test the waters and see what's out there for you. Yes, this is exactly what you're supposed to be doing. This is a wonderful and fulfilling thing. But there's also something in the back of your head that goes, I want to do more.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So that's what we're talking about here. And this is a great way for you. You've got tons of time to do this with. Do you have a full-time assistant that works with you in your home?
Part-time, not full-time.
Part-time. Okay. Are you thinking about hiring them full-time once this starts to take off?
Yes, I'm thinking about it.
Okay, good. Because they're telling me that's probably a good idea. It's a good idea to go ahead and this person's a great person to work with. It's a her, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So she tends to think like you do, which is why I think that you were first attracted to her as far as business. And, oh, okay. She also does some things very differently from you, but you know you need.
Yeah. Is this, Brett, is this the person I'm working with now or someone I'm thinking about working with?
It feels like, that's an excellent question. One moment, please.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, this could definitely be someone new. Okay, so are you thinking of someone new for the position?
I am.
Anybody in mind?
Yeah.
Okay, so would this person do more than just admin stuff? They'd be doing more operational stuff for you? Okay, that's the person that you want to go with.
Okay. And the person I have right now is strictly admin.
Okay, so yeah, I feel that this full-time person that you're going to be working with is the one that is kind of plug the holes. Let's put it.
Yeah.
They have a vision kind of like you.
Yes.
Okay, good. So let's talk about the little man on your shoulder, which I alluded to in the interview. There is a little man on your shoulder, very dapper, very happy and jokey and laughy. This is someone that advises you from the other side. Yes?
There's a few, yeah.
This particular person is showing me kind of around all the time. This is someone that doesn't go away and come back. This is kind of a person that kind of hangs out with you and can see you in your daily routine kind of thing, and will make a comment on it.
It's either Jay, you may or may not know that story, or my dad.
Okay, so one of them dressed really well. One of them liked to dress really well.
That was Jay.
Okay, great. So I meant to preface this in that I have your book and I refused to read it until we had this reading.
Okay.
I didn't want to pepper this things that I knew about you. Okay, so this guy was happy. This guy was just smiling all the time and really, really dedicated by your side. That's what he says. I'm by your side. So he's here. He's advising you. He loves this. Your home where you are now, are you... okay, so I'm feeling a pull to the south. Do you have plans on going there, or is that where your ultimate goal is?
I want to go back to Charleston, South Carolina. We lived there for years and I love it and I want to go back.
Okay, so that's the pull that I feel. I felt like this beautiful home that you have now, that you absolutely love, that you've put a lot of time and energy into, wasn't your last stop. So Charleston thing I think is wonderful. I say pull to the south because they showed me Florida and then they said no, it was in the south somewhere for you. Probably you're not going to be looking at that for probably, I'm going to say 2 to 3 years, but have you looked at property recently?
No.
Okay, you're not doing any dream shopping or anything like that in Charleston?
No.
Indulge yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
Just indulge yourself a little bit because you want to be connected to that energy. You want to be connected to the area again before you start looking. So feel free to start doing that. Okay. I don't see a lot of problems in the way of health. I did earlier feel like at one point you were having some nutritional problems, but you fixed those. Yeah. Okay, good. Whatever you did, it really did. It fixed those. This is kind of like an ongoing thing as we age. We have to kind of be careful of certain nutritional needs and things like that. So they want you just to make sure you take a look at that. Was it your mom or your mom's mom who was very gifted in this area?
It must have been my mom's mom. I think
okay.
My mom was, but she shut it off.
Right. Yeah. This woman is showing me, I'm going to say doing things. It's a very general kind of thing, but it looked like she used her ability. Were you able to witness that?
She died when my mother was 2.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So no.
Have you had any sort of connection with her since you started your journey?
Not with my mother's mother, but yes, with my father's mother a lot.
Okay. Okay. It does feel like it's on the mother's side. So I would say if you can, maybe try and make a connection
Okay.
and tell me how that works out. Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
No, we're doing great. This is fun.
What? No questions?
Well, my question is, am I on the right path? And you haven't read the book yet, so I can't ask you about that.
Yeah, I mean, so you had many paths available to you. That's what it looks like. You had a number of ways you could have gone, and the path that you chose was the path that you wanted, therefore you're on the right path.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Because there are people who don't have as many choices as you had. And you're not one to, you're probably a lot like me, is when you're looking for a choice, you get 10 of them instead of 2 of them that you have to choose from. And you were given a number of ways to go. You chose this one, which is just, it really plays to a lot of your strengths. It plays to your organization, and it plays to your, I'm going to say promotional ability. I don't know if you tend to blow other people's horns rather than yourself.
I love to do that.
Is that true?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so yeah, so this plays to that. I'm going to say there's a couple of people who might be in and out. I see the number now as great to start with, the number of people that you've chosen, but I see a couple of substitutions. Nothing traumatic. It just feels like it's a timing thing for them. They might drop out, but the perfect person to take their place is right there. Do you have a list of backup candidates?
I have a waiting list. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, good.
And I wonder about that, like where, I feel like the right people are just coming. You know,
Yes.
They're coming, and I don't know that it's over yet. I think it's still going to evolve.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely going to evolve. I don't feel like there's any problems with the current crop that you have. But here's the thing, you know probably more than anybody else, there's a ton of practitioners out there who believe that if they build something, people will come. And we know that's not necessarily true. You have to do the work behind it. And so I feel like there are some people there who kind of want, they're going to want you to do things for them that they should be doing for themselves. We'll put it that way.
That are coming or that are with us now?
That I think that are around you now. They're not necessarily part of Holistic Campus, but they're in your sphere. So I think, and it's not necessarily like an acrimonious thing. It's more like people have different expectations versus the reality. And so when it comes to not meeting their expectations, then they're going to go find something that will.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that they might be looking for something different. You might be looking for something different to have there. So that's what we're looking at there. Do you have a dog now?
2.
Are they related?
They are.
Okay. Is it like a brother-sister thing or?
Father-son.
Father-son. Okay, great. Because they're showing me as one dog. So they're very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect companions for you. I don't know why they're bringing this up, but I want to say that you chose them very carefully.
I did.
Okay, good. Okay. Which doesn't surprise me because you choose everything very carefully. Case. It felt like you almost took emotion completely out of it.
Oh, yeah, I guess I did when you think of
Okay.
it. Yeah, one of them anyway. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. So, yeah, very interesting creatures, those two. See a lot, don't they?
They what?
They see a lot in the house.
They do. They do.
A lot of things going on. They've gotten used to it, so they're not as skittish as they were, I think, when all of this started.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of energy bouncing around the walls here.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure there's a ton.
Yeah. Yeah. Just with everything going on. Yeah. That's interesting. Very cool. Very cool.
What else can I do for you today? What else do you need to know?
Um, my family, they all good?
Yeah, everything's rolling along nicely. What I see is, as far as your family, is I see a bunch of individual units. They're relatively independent people.
We're all very independent, yes.
Yeah. That's why I said these little individual units, but you've all come together kind of, not kind of, but actually as a family. But yeah, very independent, wonderful people. You certainly picked the right family when you came down, didn't you? Yeah, I see. Yeah, everything's good. Everything's moving up for them. There's a couple, a relatively young couple. I don't know if it's a niece or a nephew, or if it's. It doesn't feel like it's 100% connected to you. That just recently got married.
Yes.
Okay, good. They're on the right track. Someone has told them, or something happened where they kind of both wondered if they maybe rushed into this, but it feels like that they've been together for a while.
Yeah.
But that maybe the marriage part was something that they went too quickly into. They make the decision quickly to get married, or even though they were seeing each other for a while.
Yeah, no, they lived together for a couple of years.
Yeah, but then marriage came up. The subject of marriage came up, and they went full bore into the whole thing.
Okay, yeah, that could be.
Okay, so the spirit's just telling me that they kind of went, oh, we're married, kind of thing. But everything's fine. Everything's going as it should for them.
And now they're pregnant, so there you go.
That's awesome. Good for them. Yeah, so things are going the way they're supposed to.
Beautiful.
Excellent. What else can I tell you?
The family that you just talked about, there's a discord and a disconnect. And it has to do with what has happened with me writing the book and the whole spirituality piece. And they're very standoffish, and I just wonder if that's going to be forever.
Nothing's forever. Certainly not in this case. I think, so here's what I see. I see you holding your ground. I see you not apologizing for anything, and just kind of being that beacon. And almost like the longer you can stay that way, they'll come around, kind of thing. This is something obviously that you believe in very strongly. And I think there's a few of them on that side who kind of wonder if this is real.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Down to. Yeah. And so the longer that you stay resolved with what you're doing now, going forward, if there's a second book coming, and there is a second book coming.
You better get out the first one, Brad.
Have you started the outline yet?
Yeah.
I thought so. You're such a planner. This is awesome. So I think eventually they'll come around. It doesn't feel like they're very religious. It's not a religious objection they have.
No, no. It's
Okay,
a conformity. It's a being good, doing right and looking good kind of a thing.
you're
That's
talking to a fellow Puritan, so
okay.
New England. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so this is just more of you standing your ground. Feel free to reach out every once in a while and say, hey, have you gotten over yourselves yet?
Yeah.
Because it feels like you're completely in the right on this. Do you know what I mean? Like you made the right moves. You didn't deceive anybody. You didn't lie to anybody.
Oh, no. No.
Um, and you're doing this for yourself. You're doing this for selfless reasons.
Not righteous.
No,
Right.
no, but definitely, yeah, but definitely selfless. And this is one of those things where when spirit comes a calling and they ask you to do something, you do it.
Yeah. Oh, well.
So so you're just hold your ground, just hold your ground, and keep reaching out and be the magnanimous one, be the better one. But there's no reason for you to kind of back down or apologize to these people just to have them back in your life.
Yeah, I've never felt that way either. Now,
Okay, good.
no, when you say that, I really think about the extended family. But what about my nuclear family with those pieces? I am the one on this path, and they're all around me going, "Yay, go!" I think, and I wonder about that.
So what I see is I see a little bit of the word they're using is colorblind, tone deaf kind of thing. I don't think that everyone, even though you've done your darn best to kind of explain everything that's going on through your process, what went through your mind, what you've gone through physically, emotionally, and spiritually, I think that they can't connect with that. They're not necessarily coming down on it, but it's almost like if someone came to me today and tried to explain nuclear physics to me, I'd probably get most of it because a lot of it's numbers and thing. But overall, I probably wouldn't be able to understand the full picture. And I think that's what's happening with them. Very supportive. Like there's no doubt about the support there. There's no, gosh, maybe you shouldn't be doing this. No, not at all. They're right there with you. But I think that they don't fully understand what's going on, what's happened, and what's going to happen.
So, do you think, Brett, from that standpoint, that makes so much sense? I mean, it can really,
Yeah.
of course, they don't understand it. Is it
Right.
an awakening type of issue? And issue is not the right word; it's negative, but because they're not in that process, it's like once you know this, there's no
Right.
going back, but you have to get to the point to know it.
Not only that, but it's also just because we know it doesn't mean that we can explain it. That sometimes it's a loss of words. Sometimes it's a feeling, and you can't always explain the feeling.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean they would have to go for, and I think in your nuclear family, is there a girl?
No.
Okay. Do you have someone that's a lot more sensitive than others?
My son, very sensitive.
Okay. Okay. So I apologize because I don't see sex. I see emotional
No, that does happen with
kind
me.
of thing. Yeah, yeah.
Very,
Um,
very sensitive.
and that's why I tell people, no, I can't tell you what sex your baby is, but I can tell you what their personality will be.
Well, that's pretty good.
So he's had a little bit of experience with this himself.
Yeah.
If they were dreams, I don't know if there was a feeling that came over him, but it also feels like he's largely ignored it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of up to you whether or not you want to pursue that with him.
Yeah. And I've opened the door, certainly.
Okay.
And whatever you want to know. And I show him things every now and then, and yeah, Mom, okay. He's opening a little bit more, but
Okay.
no one in the family is ready.
Okay. And the funny thing is, you don't have a problem with that. Like, that's never stopped you from doing something that you wanted. It's awesome. Are you kidding?
My family calls me stubborn and independent.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, is he the youngest?
Oldest.
He feels less mature and sensitive compared to the others in the family.
More sensitive, did you say?
A lot more sensitive.
Yes.
Yeah. But he also feels a little less mature. That's why I asked if he was the youngest.
Well, my youngest is definitely the most mature. 14 years younger.
My family. Are you sure we weren't separated at birth?
Could be.
All right. What else can I tell you?
Do you see the trajectory of Holistic Campus at all?
Let's see if you see this. So, yes. Yes. Here's the thing. You will find yourself overwhelmed. And just keep that in mind, because, I wish I could tell you every twist and turn. I do see this as coming out very strong. I see some problems with money. I don't know. It's not a business threatening kind of thing. It's almost like a back and forth kind of thing with money. It's a smaller issue, but it's going to weigh heavily on your mind for some reason. And then the overwhelming, you're dealing with a lot of individuals here. And I'm feeling that there's going to be a number of them who are going to take up more of your time than you'd like them to. And that's what it comes down to.
No, that makes sense.
And I hope my fellow holistic campus practitioners are not listening to this reading.
They will.
I'm not singling anybody out. Yeah, it looks like you're going to have to expand at some point. You're going to have to expand the number of people that you've invited in simply to meet the demand.
Wait, isn't that funny? And then it's funny you say that about, a little issue with money, because I finally have made peace with money. I was always in a scarcity place.
Right.
New England, like so many of us were. You can relate to that.
Sure.
But I've gotten over that. And I do realize that this is definitely guided and it's protected, and whatever's going to happen.
Oh, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
if it's anything from the money standpoint, whatever, it's all going to work out. It always has.
Oh, it will. It will. It'll give you a little bit of a hiccup, I think, is the best way to say it. Great advice that I've gotten in the past is, if you're doing a business just for passion, it will fail. If you're doing a business just for money, it will fail. You need to marry the two. That's more than once, and that you have bills to pay, you have obligations that you need to meet. You certainly have an awful lot of time invested in this, and your time is valuable, that sort of thing. So I get it, and I think that you found that balance. But there is a hiccup coming. I wish I could be more specific. Let me see if I can. No, this is one of those things that's supposed to hit you when it does. They're not giving me any more information about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're not saying exactly what it relates to, other than money.
But it'll all be fine.
It always is for you.
Yeah.
You always land on your feet, and it's a wonderful thing. What else can I tell you?
I don't know, Brett. I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. It was my pleasure.
Yeah, no, that's all great. It's
Okay.
all happening the way it's supposed to and flowing. And it's so interesting, though, what you said about passion or money and put them together.
Right.
And I get that's what this is. I've looked at it from a business standpoint from the very beginning, but that's not what drove me. It's what we're all doing.
Yeah, it can't be one or the other. It has to be both.
Yeah.
The perfect balance for you and to make you comfortable in order to get into this. It might come down to, see, I'm not going to speculate on this because they wouldn't give me any more information. So
Okay. Okay.
take my numbers brain out of this.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Okay, beautiful. Well, I'm great. Thank you so much. That was very interesting and right
Well,
on.
I hope a lot of the information for you landed. You know, if there was anything that I didn't touch on, or if you had more questions about, you know, we can always talk, you and I.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
All right. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.